Hey everyone, what's up? With season 6 going into a mid-season hiatus along with a lot of other shows, mostly getting ready to come back, I think, towards the end of summer, allowing fans to catch up on their show as well as fans catch up on other shows. I thought I'd kind of talk about what needs to happen, not just for the remainder of season 6, but with no doubt there being a season 7 and possibly another season after the movie is released next year. I kind of thought to myself, well, I gave ideas for future episodes. I did that, and hopefully you guys have tuned into that. And you can check that out here in the discussion. Hold on. There we go. But you can check that out here in the discussions, if you will. Hold on, just hit the mic there. Sorry about that. But you can check that here in the show discussion where it's entitled "Ideas for Future Episodes." But these are things I believe need to happen when season 6 continues, as well as into the next upcoming season, which is going to probably be season 7, as well as going into the movie. Basically, these are things that have to happen in MLP FIM going forward, especially with the movie coming. One, I think you either need to, excuse my language, well, not excuse my language, but beep or get off the pot and finally officially, and I mean officially, pair Spike and Rarity up together. I came up with an idea, I believe, in one of the videos, either it was for the movie or for ideas for the show. But I definitely think you need to get Spike and Rarity together officially. No more teasing it, no more casual, oh, we're friends now and everything. You need to make this happen. You need to make this happen. And I think the way you do this, and I've mentioned this before, I think the way they do this is you have an episode where both, through some kind of magical means, walk a mile in the other's shoes, or the other's hoofs, if you will. For example, have it to where Rarity gets temporarily turned into a dragon, about Spike's size, maybe a little taller, maybe about Ember's size, or something like that. And then have Spike get turned into a pony, temporarily. And through that, they kind of see that attraction that maybe this is what was needed to probably officially bring them together. That maybe when you turn Spike into a pony, he basically becomes the same age and size as the main 6. So that's the attraction between him and Rarity there. So, and the same with Rarity of her being a dragon. Basically an episode will both kind of know what it's like to be the other species, walking the other a mile in the other's shoes or hoofs. And to me, that could definitely bring them together. And I think that needs to be done going into the movie, or it needs to be done after the movie, or you know what, it needs to be done in some shape or form in the movie, because if there's a rumor going around, as I discussed, about the possibility of the characters change, because what they said in one of the things in that convention they had in Russia is they said that there's a possibility that one of the things that will probably happen in the movie is the characters, the main 6, will turn into different creatures and things, if you will. Basically shapeshift. So into different creatures, objects, I guess, whatever. And I think if you're going to save it, if you're going to have Rarity shapeshift into a dragon and then maybe Spike into a pony, you could do it in that. You can do it in that moment, during that time in the movie, or you can do it leading into the movie, either in the remainder of season 6 or into season 7. But you definitely, if I'm a Hasbro, if I'm Megan McCarthy, if I'm any of the new or established writers currently working on the series, I get this done. I get it done now. End of discussion. Another thing I think they need to happen is because they've been having a lot of these, I wouldn't say Tex Avery like tropes, but they've been having these very Looney Tune, Tiny Toon Animaniacs, in a sense Tex Avery like tropes happening once in a while in the series. And I think the time has come leading into, for the remainder of season 6, or going into season 7, maybe in the movie itself or afterwards, they need to have what's known as the Lustful Milk Gag. Basically, the Lustful Milk Gag, I've explained it before, is where a character is so amored, attracted, acted, if you will, to another, that from a visual standpoint, they turn into a puddle of goo. They melt into a puddle of goo, with only the facial features on top of the puddle, or they just turned into a multicolored puddle, and that's it. Like with Rarity, if they wanted to do it with Rarity, she'd be all right. She'd melt into an all white puddle with little blue dots in there, along with a little like purple rim or something on the outskirts or whatever. Same with Pinkie Pie, if you will. But to me, I think the Lustful Milk Gag, basically having the characters like a Rarity or a Pinkie Pie or a Rainbow Dash or whoever, melt into a puddle of goo out of attraction to another, I think is the best thing, is the next thing they need to do as far as Animaniac, Tiny Toon, Tex Avery like cartoon like tropes, gags, if you will, that they need to do. They need to do that. Another thing they need to do, and I mentioned this in the ideas for future episodes, and I'll mention it again, they need to somehow establish that there is a Megan in this continuity as well. I mean, you bring back the Schmooze, you bring back the villain from the pilot episode special, if you will. You need to bring in you need to establish that there is a Megan in this universe. And like I said in my ideas video, or audio video, you need to establish it to where, you know, when she comes to Ponyville, she can either come as two ways, as herself, just like she did in G1, or allow it to where she can also come as a pony, so that way nobody is threatened by her. In other words, kind of do what Twilight does in the Equestria Girls movie, have her do maybe some magic, advanced magic that Twilight learns, or whatever, either use the mirror or either walk through the mirror and become a pony, sort of a la Sunset Shimmer, or, which I guess Sunset Shimmer, she ended up in the Equestria Girl world now, or whatever, but kind of back and forth, but have something like that, or either to establish that there is a difference between both the Equestria Girls movies and the ongoing series. Have it to where, like I said, Twilight learns a magic spell and temporarily transforms Megan into a pony. I mean, it could work. It could work. So I definitely think that needs to happen. That needs to happen going into the movie with either the rest of season 6 or going into season 7, or even after the movie, possibly with the season 8. It needs to happen. It needs to happen in a major way. Now, what else? Trying to think here. Hold on, folks. I think another thing that needs to be done is we need to do an episode with one of the secondary characters. Maybe make it a nice little tribute episode. Not tribute, but a nice little, sweet little episode here and there. But I think they should do an episode. I think what they need to do going into for the remainder of season 6, going into season 7 of the movie, I think what they need to do is do an episode. Well, they need to do an episode, period, where you can either bring Pip into it, that young character, or some kind of character. I don't know if it's a Pip character or a new character just for whatever. But do an episode to where either Pip or some kind of new young pony character, boy character, gets wants to go to a dance that all ponies his age, even like the Cutie Mark Crusaders, they need to go to. Sort of like a coming of age kind of deal, to establish that they're ready to take that next step into ponyhood. But he can't go without a date. He needs to have a date. And the story should go, what they need to do with that is have it to where if he could have one day, if he can take one character to this dance with him, it would be Luna. Yeah. You need to do an episode where he does this, where this happens. Where Luna sees that this character, whether it's Pip or a new character or whatever, this young filly, pony, whatever you call it, it has to go to this event, this dance, this ball, whatever, as a coming of age deal for both the young boy and girl ponies or fillies, that he wants to go with Princess Luna, but doesn't think that Luna would have the time to do this. However, in the end, have it to where Luna does find the time to go with him and be his date for this event, for this little event. Make it something like that, to where you could have maybe some other fillies who might tease him a little bit, not the Crusaders, but some other unknown fillies that might tease him a little bit and be like, you're never going to get you're never going to get Luna to go with you. You might as well not even be part of this, because you can't come without a date, or you can't da-da-da-da. Make it to where it does happen. So, I think that's what they need to do for an episode. I think that's something they need to accomplish. And that can not just be something to focus maybe on the Pip character, or maybe a new character or filly, but also kind of be like a coming of age for all the young Crusader-like characters. I think as well, I spoke about Megan earlier. I think what they need to do when they get to the season 6 finale, or even the season 7 finale leading into the movie, one of those two, is they need to end it on a cliffhanger. Have them fight and defeat the threat that's coming after them and all that, like they usually do, but also end it on a cliffhanger. And I think the way it happens is you got to have some kind of a situation that during the climax, after Twilight and the main 6 defeat whatever threat it is that's after them this time, that something happens that I don't know how you would do this, but I would say something along the lines of an element of harmony, or something connected to the elements of harmony gets lost, and it ends up somehow doing this whole climactic battle or fight or whatever, somehow gets transported over into Megan's world, and then as it looks like you're going to end the episode right there, when you fade to black, have it to where it fades out. It's like with any episode, you have it, and when you fade to black, you go to the credits, right? Well, here, what they need to do for the season 6 finale or season 7 finale as a cliffhanger is have it fade to black, like you're going to go to the credits, but then they have it faded back in, and then you see this human, you see the whatever portion, whatever thing or element, or I can't even think, whatever part of the, whatever kind of connection or whatever kind of, I just said it, whatever kind of piece connected to the elements of harmony. You know, when you fade to black and it seems you're going to fade to, go to the intros, have fade in, and this is where the cliffhanger they should do comes in, have whatever piece that's connected to the elements of harmony or whatever new power they've discovered be seen on the ground in front, can be seen on the ground in front of a farmhouse, maybe, and then you have a human hand reach down, and as this human hand picks it up, well, basically you have this human hand that sees this piece of magical element, whether it's something to the elements of harmony or some, whatever. You have this human hand reach down and pick it up, and then as they're picking it up, you have the camera kind of turn a little bit and then pan, kind of turn a little bit very slowly, and then you see this human face right there holding it, and then you hear someone's voice and holding it, kind of like looking at it, almost like, wow, what is, wow, what is this? Where did this come from? And then you end it by having someone's voice, whether it's the mother or the brother or the sister, calling the character's name of Megan. And to me, that's how you end the cliffhanger into maybe season 7 or into the movie or into season 8 after the movie. You have it to where, like I said, you have, after you do the climactic battle or fight, you have them defeat whatever threat that there is for a finale for season 6 or 7. And then instead of fading into black and into the credits, you fade into black, but then you fade into another scene where, like I said, whatever piece of the magical element or whatever it is, gets picked up by a human hand. And then as the camera slowly pans over to the face to reveal who that human is you have them say, something like, wow, what is this? What could this be? Where did it come from? Because they've never seen anything like it. And then you have either the mother or you have the brother or the sister call the name of the character, and that name being Megan. And to me, that could be a great cliffhanger leading into the 7th season, maybe a possible 8th season, down the line. To me, it could work. Honestly, it could. So, again, that's something I think they need to do. They need to end a season finale with a cliffhanger like that would get you hooked into the next season. So, but, those are just some of to me, those are just some of the things I believe they need to, do going into, for the remainder of season 6 and going into season 7 and possibly 8, as well as the movies. So, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you agree with some of those, suggestions, some of those suggestions of what they need to do or what they should do. And do you agree with any of them? Let me know down below, and I will talk to you all later.